Harry and Meghan may have been invited to King Charles's coronation, but there are signs that tensions are still high after senior royals reportedly snubbed an invitation to Princess Lilibet's christening. The Sussexes confirmed that in a private ceremony last Friday, their daughter was christened Princess Lilibet Diana. It's the first time the pair have used the title of Prince or Princess for either of their children. But where were the rest of the family? Well, the couple apparently asked King Charles, Camilla, Prince William and Kate to be there, but it's thought they all declined the kind offer. Well, I'm not entirely surprised. I mean, it would have been extraordinary to see them all arriving in LA and going to...
Beyond awkward.
Yeah, it would have been, as the kids say, seriously, orcs. But I'm not surprised that they could... I mean, A, their diaries would have been completely full. B, it would have looked really
What a spectacle.
awkward.
Wouldn't it have been amazing?
It would have been brilliant.
Proper popcorn moment.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're just going to absolutely trash you and then... Do you want to come to the christening? I think it's just not going to happen.
We'll be there. Yeah, that'd be great.
So let's hug it out, shall we?
This kid, Lilibet, then, is her name actually Princess, or has
that's her
by
title.
rights got the title?
But that's the bit I
She's
didn't
got the
understand.
title.
So
I think they've named her Princess.
But was she?
but
I know she's a princess because of the royal line.
Yeah.
Well, is she though?
Well, yes, apparently because she is the daughter of the grandson.
Yeah.
No, the son of the king.
So they've all moved up one. When the Queen died,
yes,
they
so
all
she
moved
is a
up
princess.
So she is a princess, but was
You're
she
thinking it might be
christened?
like a Katie Price type thing, naming your child princess, whatever.
Exactly,
Well, maybe it is. I mean, nothing would be beyond likelihood.
Because, of course, there was all that controversy with the Oprah interview and other interviews they did where they were both there. Harry and Meghan were saying, that Archie, because, of course, Lilibet wasn't born then, that Archie should be getting, the title of prince but wasn't going to. And there was a sort of implication that that was in some way racist at the time. But, of course, that was before the Queen died, so now things are different. But it does... If you don't want to be a part of that family and you say how toxic that family is, and Harry's been saying that the family ruined his childhood and he didn't want... He's been lavishing love on his children to make up for his own lack of love, and then you choose to use the titles Prince and Princess, it does seem a little hypocritical.
But then he's not going to give up his title, is he? He's born a prince, he'll die a prince. And the titles are the kids. They're entitled to them. Whether they want to be part of the family or not, those are titles that they are entitled to. So just like me calling Kevin Sir or you Madame.
Which I require you to do.
I like it.
Now on.
Can you call me ma'am from
Yes,
now on?
absolutely,
I
ma'am.
rather like that.
But it is... I can't imagine...
Make you feel old.
Yes, very.
Mademoiselle, then. I can't imagine why they would invite the royals and think that they actually were going to turn up. That would be ludicrous.
Well, they didn't, did they? They invited them so they could say they didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bit of
That's the
PR.
reason. And also, the thing is, you make a brilliant point. They're cherry-picking bits of the monarchy they like, aren't they?
Yeah. And a lot of people, of course, think that if you are Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet and you grow up in the United States, you can earn a lot more money than if you're just plain Mr. or, Master and Miss. And Isabel made a very good point. We were chatting in the break when she pointed out that, Princess Anne's children, that Anne and her husband at the time chose not to give those kids titles because they wanted them to be more ordinary and make their own way. And you would imagine that Harry and Meghan would have done that.
No, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
Yeah, look.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
JJ, tell us why Harry's so great and why Meghan's marvellous. Go on, do tell us.
Look,
we love it when you say that.
As I've already said, I think it's silly for them to invite the royals to the christening, and that'd be the first time they're all together after everything that has happened thus far. But I think it's their choice. If they want to keep the titles, they're entitled to them. Quite literally, they are entitled to the titles.
If they want.
So they might as well have them.
Entitled to the titles.
I wouldn't mind being called Princess.
It would suit you,
Well, that can be arranged.
Princess Kev.
I like
We
that.
can do that. Yeah. Stop being such a princess, we can say.
Yes.
We already do.
Now, talking of princesses, of course, Kate was out and about. Very different story, and we know that she tends to get much more favourable press, but she was out today in camouflage gear.
How'd they see her?
Exactly. They're in
Very
the snow.
good.
Look at her there. She's in her camo Kate. Now, she, of course, is now Colonel of the Irish Guards. That's one of her new duties. And she performed some military drills. And then she learnt how to, I think there she's learning some first aid, how to administer aid to a wounded soldier, and was taken on a tour of the training ground. I mean, if you've got the option of doing that in the snow rather than going to LA, you'd obviously choose to do that rather than go to...
enjoyable day, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's pretty impressive, though. I think.
Is it impressive? Is it? She hasn't got a proper job. She goes around doing charitable appearances to turn up and do a charitable appearance. Let me go to the army and figure out how to tie a Band-Aid.
Harry hasn't got a proper job either.
When's she going to use that? On one of her kids when they fall over in the playground? No, the nanny will do that. It's just another photo opportunity. Don't get sucked in by, Kate, she's so wonderful.
Hang on, so JJ, can we just get this right? So it's, I just want to get this right.
Here we go.
So it's Harry and Meghan bad.
No, good. No, you've missed out there.
The rest of the royal family, very, very bad. Is that it?
I don't think Charles is bad, actually. I don't. I think William and Kate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think William and Kate
are bad?
Yeah, I think they are.
Why?
I think Charles is doing some of the right things to make the royal family more modern.
No, the whole point
I think William and Kate have got a very different side to each other.
Daisy's point is right. This is about actually being there in public appearances, raising money, charity, all the rest of it, bonding the rest of the communities together. I think their royal visits are really important.
And also, you can guarantee that the Irish Guards would have been very, very pleased to have her there today because it raises the profile of their regiment.
Well, of course,
Yeah,
that's the point I was making. And actually, I think she carried that off with panache.
You looked amazing.
And she looks amazing. Yeah, in camouflage.
Anyway, enough of the royals. Let's talk about the royals again. The race rail that rocked Buckingham Palace was reignited today after charity boss Ngozi Fulani slammed the royal household for not apologising to her properly over comments made to her by the late Queen's lady-in-waiting. In November, she claimed Lady Susan Hussey repeatedly asked, "Where are you really from?" despite Fulani confirming she was British. And she thinks Buckingham Palace haven't done enough to address the incident. Fulani says it's led to her temporarily resigning from her role at a domestic abuse charity. She also hit out at the lack of a personal apology.
Who are they apologising to? If you're sorry, tell me you're sorry. If you're not, it speaks for itself. If you have to ask somebody for an apology, it is not an apology. I'm just making the point so that everybody understands, yeah? I don't see what is so hard to say, I'm sorry. You sent me an invitation, so you know how to find me, you know how to say sorry. If you're sorry, then say sorry. If you're not, I get it. But when you make this apology to everybody, I don't know who you're apologising to.
I think Ngozi's had her moment in the spotlight and should probably drift away now. We've had enough of her. No one gives a damn whether or not the palace personally apologised to her.
She does.
They've already... No, she doesn't. She's just trying to cause trouble. They've already humiliated that poor Lady Susan Hussey by making her sort of go in the village stocks and sit next to Ngozi and say sorry publicly on television. The royal family should hang their heads in shame the way they treated Lady Susan Hussey.
Yeah, that's the only shame, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, no one cares. No, you can't have an apology. Now go away and return to the obscurity for which you were designed.
Just out of interest, why shouldn't she have an apology?
Because I don't care.
No, but I'm asking the question. Answer, you're both sat there saying she shouldn't have one. So I'm just asking you.
She did have an apology.
No, that's the thing. It's like the royal family put out an apology publicly. They didn't address it to her. They didn't say to her, actually, we'd like to apologise.
What about when
she got invited?
She got invited back. She then had a one-to-one with Lady Hussey as well.
What does she
But also,
say?
isn't Kev's point the right one? This is about her fading in the spotlight, and this is her way to come back into the spotlight to say, "Look at me, I'm a self-serving narcissist."
No, I think you guys are completely wrong. And I think, with respect, because you are people who've never had racism on a day-to-day basis generally in your lives, I think you're not seeing the insight.
I
think you're not seeing the insight of how it
Racism works
feels.
both ways.
It works both ways. Well, tell that
does.
to the slave masters and the slaves. It does not work both ways. I think there's a huge difference.
Really doing this?
Well, yeah, we are doing it because I think there's a huge difference for
I'm really not
Ngozi.
doing it.
I think there's a difference between Ngozi Fulani saying she'd like an apology
OK, but it's
and the
over.
racial abuse that she's been receiving. You're saying no one cares. She's still receiving racial abuse to this day. She's still getting abused, Kevin. You can't just dismiss what she says.
The way she spoke to Ngozi Fulani was wrong. It was the actions of a woman not quite in tune with the modern world, and I can understand why Ngozi was upset and fine. And she made a fuss, fine. She got her apology from Lady Susan. That's it, over. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Honestly, yeah, I mean, I think her behaviour today in making that fresh intervention is utterly graceless. Can you imagine? The royal family have been to great lengths to try to make this right for her. They released a joint statement that she was happy with. And a few weeks later, having carried on brooding on it, she now brings the whole thing up
But
again.
I think none of you have listened to what JJ said. She has continued to get an increasing amount of vile...
But maybe that's the way she handled it as well,
I would
actually.
have said that if she carries on doing this, she's
going to get more.
Trigger more.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's not going to help. Oh my gosh! You guys are you're so out of touch. It's so annoying. I'm the only person of colour here. I'm explaining to you how it feels as a person of colour to receive racial treatment, and your reaction is to dismiss it and be like, no, she's self-serving, she's this, she's that. You have no idea what it's like, and you've got someone here telling you, explaining to you how it feels, and you'll still dismiss it. This is why people like you need racial training. You need to have you do. You need the training. You need training because you just talk rubbish. You won't hear anyone else's opinion but yourself. You're in the same echo chamber continually, again and again and again. And people are sick of it. You can sit there, you can laugh it off, you can demonise people, you can shame the victim. But in this situation, a woman who has been doing great work for women who are suffering with domestic violence has been forced out of her role in our community in Hackney because of Lady Hussey and the interaction they had. She's now gone online today and said, I've had to step down because I've been still receiving death threats. And your reaction is to laugh it off and say, no, she's self-serving. No one cares. No one cares about it.
You've misinterpreted that completely.
JJ, I think that attack on all of us and our integrity...
No, not all of you, particularly on you and Kevin. Particularly on you and Kevin.
I have not laughed it off.
You're just laughing it off.
I was not laughing it off.
We'll play back the clip.
I laughed off you saying I had to go to racial training.
You were laughing.
That is laughable.
Yeah.
I am not laughing off the claim
laughable.
of racism. I am saying that her behaviour is utterly graceless, and I feel really strongly about that. It is graceless. She's had the apology.
It is. She hasn't had the apology.
I think, shall we leave that there and just cool down for a moment?